So now we're going to run through a little bit of breath work, a little bit of calming, a little bit of relaxation. Normally at the end of a yoga class we will lie down and do this. It's called Savasana, and that helps to sort of realign the muscles and to relax the body a little bit. But we can also do it seated. So when we say the word meditation, everyone sort of freaks out. Oh, I'll never be able to meditate and do these things. This is a very, very simple process with working the breath. So we're going to take it really, really easy with baby steps. There's nothing, don't be frightened of this. Everyone can do this. So the first thing to do really when we're seated is to get comfortable. Some people, you can sit away from here if you're very experienced and use your core. But for this, I want you to sit to the back of the chair so that the back of the chair is taking your weight. The base of the chair is taking all the weight from your hips. So basically your body is doing nothing. You're just relaxing is what we're looking for. The reason I have a block here is if you've, depending on the height of your chair and the length of your legs, you want to be comfortable. You don't want your legs dangling, you don't want to be lifted up. So if that feels a little bit centered for you, where you feel more relaxed, and by all means have a block or a blanket or a pillow underneath. And just make yourself comfortable. I like to do this in a nice sort of cozy hoodie, especially with a hood up. You can really feel nice and warm, and it's really all about just feeling comfortable. This is what this is. This is like making that, when you were young, you made your little tent for yourself and you hid in. This is what we're doing here. We're making ourselves really comfortable and really safe. So, you know, get a nice big thick hoodie and really get comfortable in this. And all we're going to do then is we're going to take 3 deep breaths. So it's easier if you just close your eyes, because what the eyes do, they look at stuff and then we follow it and our brain follows. So just close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths. Not forceful breaths, just breathe in. You'll feel the chest will rise and your shoulders will lift. And when you exhale, you feel the chest goes down and you can feel your shoulders sink. That's what happens when we breathe naturally. So breathing in, muscles contract to open the rib cage and lift up the shoulders. When we exhale, everything relaxes. So as we're exhaling, and on the exhale is when your muscles are at their most relaxed. When we breathe in, they contract. When we exhale, you can feel everything just softens and drops. So after you've taken your 3 or 4 breaths, feel what's happening in the body. Feel how relaxed your shoulders are. Your hips are nice and soft. You can let your legs, if you find that your knees fall out a little bit, it doesn't matter. Whatever's comfortable for you. What I like to do then is just to turn my palms upwards, because what this does is it stops the shoulders from rolling forward. If we're here, you can slump. But when we roll our shoulders back and we turn our palms up, it's very hard for you to come and slump forward. So we just turn the palms up, relax the shoulders. And then we're just going to breathe. So we're just going to take a couple of breaths in, just breathing in, exhaling out. So you can still feel the chest and the shoulders rising. That's nice and easy, nice and relaxed. And breathe it down. And that just may be your level of breathing, where you just watch the chest and the shoulders rise and come back up. Now when you get used to this, we can start learning to watch the breath. So what we do is we imagine that we're breathing from our belly button, and we breathe in, up to the front of the body, out to the crown of the head. When we exhale, we watch the breath come down the neck, down the base of the spine, and sink into the hips. Okay, so we're watching as well as feeling. So we're watching this breath as we breathe in, it coming up the front of the body, it's going out the crown of the head. When we exhale, it comes down the neck and all the way down to the base of the spine. That's one breath, one movement. Now, the reason why meditation and breath work becomes quite difficult is because our brain goes different places. That's perfectly natural. You can't stop yourself from thinking. It's impossible. So what we try and do is we just do it for one breath. We watch the breath come up. Remember, it's coming up the front of the body, out the crown of the head. When you exhale, it comes all the way down to the base of the spine. Now, if your mind wanders, let it go. Let it go, do what it wants. What we do then is we bring it back. The next breath. Exhale all the way down to the hips. Let the mind wander again. Bring it back to the breath. The goal at some stage is you'll be able to do that for 2 breaths, one after the other. And exhale down. So the idea of watching your breath is the breath is just a focus. If I'm just sitting here looking around myself, I'm thinking of 1,000 different things. When I've got my eyes closed and I'm watching the breath, that's all I'm doing. I'm just following the breath up. I'm following the breath down. So the mind is only concentrating on the one thing, the breath. And that's why we use that. It's purely to keep the mind still so you don't go off. But at the beginning, let the mind go off, bring it back to the next breath, let the mind escape, and over time you'll find that you'll be able to do 2 breaths and 3 breaths. But don't worry about it, because if we're getting angry and fed up, and we're missing the whole point of meditation and relaxation. The idea of this is to reset your body, so the body is doing absolutely nothing physically, it's just relaxing. By watching the breath, you're switching off the brain. So what we're doing is a reset. We're just resetting everything, even for 1 minute. And that allows you to refunction. So imagine that you're filling up your bin and it gets full. You have to empty it at some stage, otherwise it just fills out. Your head is exactly the same. It's filled with all the stuff that's going on in your life. The idea of this is to allow some of that just to empty, just to relax, because you're going to fill it up again. As soon as you stop relaxing, you're going to start filling it up with other stuff. So this doesn't have to be done for hours. This could literally be done for 30 seconds to a minute, where you can just, you often hear the thing, if you hold your breath and count to 10, when you're angry, everything calms down. This is the same thing. Just every now and then, if things are getting too much, kids, or everything is on top of you, sit down, relax yourself, get on your nice cozy hoodie or blanket, get comfortable. Once you're comfortable, you can then start to be calm. You can't become calm unless you're actually comfortable first. And then once you're calm and you work your breath, you can start become connected to your breath, to your body, to what's happening in it. So there is a process that happens, and it's a process that takes quite a while. It's a habit. So just keep practicing that breath, and that process will just get easier and easier and easier. The most important thing is don't worry, don't stress. It'll all happen in its natural time. So we just breathe. So remember what we're doing. Eyes closed, we're just breathing. We're drawing the breath from, say, below your belly button. We're watching the breath come all the way up and out through the crown of the head. As we exhale down the neck, down to the base of the spine. That's one breath. If you find that watching the breath is a bit strange, or you can't do it, remember what we did at the beginning. As we breathe in, we can feel the shoulders and the chest rise. When we exhale, we can feel them relax. And that's perfect to do that for one breath. Let the mind wander if you need to. Bring it back to the breath, breathing in, all the way up. When we exhale all the way down to the base of the spine. So as you exhale, you release all the stress and tension from the muscles, from the body. When we inhale, we breathe in fresh energy and we breathe it in through the body, up. When we exhale, we push this fresh energy down through the body, as well as releasing all the negative emotions and stress and tension. Again, it's a nice relaxed breath, nothing forced, just simple and easy. So while we're breathing and relaxing, we're not in a trance or anything like that. I can still hear all the sounds around me. I can still feel what's happening in my body. All I'm doing is just closing my eyes and just watching the breath as I inhale up and out. And as I exhale, exhaling all the way down to the base of the spine. You could also play some nice relaxing music if that helps. Sometimes you can just get caught up in the music and just drift away. The main thing we're trying to do is not think. It's not, oh, I've got to do this, or oh, I've got to do that. It's just follow your breath, or watch your chest, or watch your shoulders rise. Just so for that moment, it stops us from thinking. That's all we're doing. So again, breathing in, nice and gentle as we inhale up. And then when we exhale all the way down to the base of the spine. Take 2 more breaths in your own time. And then we can gently bring it back to a normal breath. Whatever's normal for you. Let the mind wander wherever it needs to go. Then you can just gently open your eyes. You should feel a little bit more calmer, more connected. You can feel everything. The body feels a little softer. So that doesn't have to be a long process. It doesn't have to, you might only do that for 30 seconds to a minute. You could do it as you get further on in your practice. You could maybe do 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Once you get into a zone, 10 minutes will feel like just a few breaths. You'll be surprised how quick time goes when you're in this state. But for beginners, don't worry. Just relax, get nice and comfy. Learn to breathe and exhale. And the process will just you'll just get better and better, and you'll get a little bit more relaxed. What I'll do in another video, I'm going to do a longer breath work, maybe a guided meditation that you can follow. For now, we'll just use this one as your starting point that you can practice at home, wherever you are. And then we'll do a nice longer one that you can sort of listen along to and relax. So enjoy your meditation and relaxation.